And you guys know what we start with every single time? DXY, right? We want a better understanding of what's happening with the US dollar, because again, it makes up for 80% of all trade. So, it's the best place to start.
So again, this is the Sunday Market Blitz. This will be recorded for all you guys listening. Go over 10 plus pairs. Like Nick said, start DXY. I'm going to pass it on to him. He's going to just get right into it.
Let's get it.
Let's see.
All right, Google Chrome.
Let's
go. For a second. Let's see what else we got here. All right, cool. All right, starting off DXY. Let's get it rolling here. So DXY kind of threw. I mean, from the technical standpoint, it was very good, very normal market structure. Kind of holding off with this, continuing with this bullish trend on this 4-hour here. You could see, right? But we did get some. It fell out of this bullish channel here, and people were, pretty, worried, or, we're talking about dollar weakness, because this is pretty significant, right? This was on Friday, huge close, huge gap. I mean, huge close, huge engulfing candle, bearish engulfing. And, it made sense to say that it was going to continue to 98.5. But in fact, we saw that it gapped higher, right? And actually held this, the 200 EMA on this 4-hour, and is continuing higher. Now, we are still in this 4-hour bullish trend. You can consider that a bullish trend. And now we're forming what looks to be an ascending, wedge, which, it doesn't have too much significance in the current area. I just kind of labeled it so you guys could see the consolidation happening here. And we do have two potential scenarios. So either DXY is going to continue within this range between 101 and 98.5, which is ideal, because again, we want to see a stable dollar. If USD is stable, that means normal market structure. That means good things. That means that the rest of the market is going to be, reacting pretty stably, and is going to be forming good market structure, which is what we want to see. We don't want to see any, crazy impact from news affecting price action like this. I always cover this huge push. We don't want to see this. This is not normal. This is not showing a stable dollar. This is not, promising by any means. So the fact that it's ranging, that it's forming this pretty good range between 101 and 98.5 is a good sign. You guys have seen in the last, couple of weeks or so that price action has been very technical. It's been forming pretty good structure, and has actually been presenting a good amount of, trade opportunities. So, from where we are now, I highlighted this blue arrow here. This is the preferred path. We do want to see some sort of rejection from 101. We don't want to see an over, valued dollar, or, undervalued either, which would be below 98.5. But in fact, right where we are is pretty ideal. So, a nice push higher to touch 101 is good. We would like to see that. And then, we want to see it come back a little bit, right? We don't want to see it push way above 101 up to the 102.5 area, 103 area. We don't really want to see that. I mean, if we do get some absurdly positive news for US dollar, that's what this orange arrow represents. This is, probably going to be impacted from news. If we do see it push higher outside of this 101 resistance area and then form a higher low, that would probably be news related, or, speculatively driven, something like that. It's not that normal, because, we don't want it up in this area. We don't want it overvalued, because it actually has an inverse effect with other currencies, and then it'll start to shake the market again. If you guys just look over here, after this giant push, the rest of the market was pretty much crippled. After we were this high, the dollar was extremely overvalued. It was extreme dollar shortage. Everyone was kind of just holding on to the dollar, and that's what, in fact, drove price much higher. So this is not a good area to be near. This monthly area is a danger area, right? We don't want to be there. So, I mean, it is possible if we do get some more news. Obviously, things have been very fundamentally driven lately. But who knows? In the next week, 2 weeks, we'll see what happens. But this would definitely be the ideal path for price action. These blue arrows here, right? Consolidation would be nice to see here as well. Probably more, strict consolidation would be nice, because again, it gives the rest of the market a chance to breathe. It also, is related to good market structure across all the currency pairs, and it's just ideal for, the US dollar right now, right? So this is the DXY analysis. Again, this is posted in Discord for you guys to review, and also in Telegram. Definitely check it out and see how it compares to your analysis, or other USD pairs. This is always good. I won't take a trade based on DXY, but I'll use it as an indicator, right? So I'll stop here first, because I want to make myself aware of the trend for the US dollar for that particular week, or where it's been, over the last month or so, because, if your sentiment's wrong on the US dollar, you could really get hurt on some other trades. So I always stop here first, just take a look. It doesn't hurt to, do an analysis and, make yourself aware of what's actually happening. So yeah, so here we are. That's DXY. We'll move on to some currency pairs now. AU. AU is really exciting, guys. This is in a really hot zone right now. I'm going to jump to a daily for a second. In fact, a lot of USD pairs are really looking good this week. Let me just show you what I mean. So AU, right? First thing we want to identify is a trend. It's the first thing we always want to do on a higher time frame. Bearish off the bat. Super bearish. Huge bearish channel. Breaking monthly support, testing as resistance multiple times, forming lower highs, holding at this 200 EMA. Very bearish. Easy to see, right? Just on those few confirmations that we're able to identify. So where are we now? What is current price action doing, right? So we saw this steep drop off in AU, took an absolute crap, and then it pulled back on this 4-hour trend, right? So this retracement is still in an overall bearish trend on the daily, but this 4-hour bullish trend here, you know, is just a retracement to this 88.6 level, also this weekly resistance, and it's looking like this is a confirmed lower high, right? So that's reason enough to drop down timeframes, starting to look for, you know, more confirmations. And that's exactly what we're seeing here, right at this 0.65 handle, this weekly resistance zone, key level, a lot of confluence in this area. And what do we spot off the bat? You know, for those of you who've been through the course, you guys should be able to identify this as a double top, right? Easily, double top, no questions asked. You know, we found rejection, pretty swift rejection from a key level with a lot of confluence. Double top, confirmed. So then once we saw this happen, this giant engulfing happen, we want to start looking for lower time frame transitions. That's exactly what we saw here. It broke this yellow zone. This is like a 1-hour support. It broke it, tested twice, gave us another double top. This is like a 1-hour double top. And then we started getting, I took an entry on this last week, right as the second double top was forming. And it's playing out playing out exactly as we thought it would for our analysis. And our target was this key support, right? Where this is the next key level that we'd be targeting from a short position. So it's 0.64. So this would be that 4-hour trade, right? About 100 pips. Let's say this is a daily continuation, right? So our next setup would be a break of this level, 0.64, followed by a retest, which would give us a confirmed lower high. And then we're trying to enter on either, you know, any significant bearish setups would be reason enough to enter. So another double top opportunity like this right here would be good enough to enter on. Any engulfings, evening stars, you know, head and shoulders that would form here as well. Anything like that. Any significant bearish setup would be reason enough to enter. And then it would be pretty much be a very similar trade as we saw here, right? We're looking to enter on the lower high, confirmation, put your stop loss above it. We target lower towards our next significant support level, which is 0.626, you know, about 135 pips away. And this is just the most recent support level, but if this is a daily move, it has a lot more potential to drop. So let's say, you know, this is a daily continuation. We have a confirmed lower high. This could drop all the way down to our monthly. So 0.603, which is absolutely huge, over 350 pips. So that's the beauty of, you know, kind of, you know, working your way up timeframes too when you're looking for an entry and playing into the higher timeframes. So it's pretty straightforward. It's kind of like a domino effect, right? So we see this 1-hour transition happen, right? This yellow zone, like we just talked about, 1-hour transition. Now we're looking for this 4-hour transition, which would then play into this daily move, right? So then again, the daily transition also would kind of be a break of this level here, 0.26. You know, we're looking for another lower high confirmation in that area as well. A break of support, test resistance. Look for those bearish confirmations, in which case which it would support our bearish sentiment. So, and that's just kind of how I'm looking at things. AU is looking super clean this week. And, you know, 4 hours, the good time frame right now, waiting for those extra confirmations that will let us know if we're going to go short again or not. Just looking really clear so far. But let's keep going. That's AU. Move on to AJ. Again, very similar to AU. You know, you guys will notice that. You should notice that by now. Let's just start out on the daily again. Very bearish, huge bearish channel. Absolutely nuts. Huge bearish channel. And this little 4-hour bullish trend here, this pullback is just a retracement. It's a 4-hour bullish trend. And again, what do we spot off the bat? Double top, right? Let's go ahead and drop timeframes now. Now that we came to this significant area, the 70 handle is our main resistance zone, which is also our weekly 618 fib levels here as well. So there's definitely some confluence in this area. But again, off the bat, guys, anyone who's familiar with patterns or is a pattern trader or has been through our course, double top, boom, off the bat, right? Easy to identify. And then what do we see here? You know, that 1 hour transition that we just caught on AU, something very similar here on AJ, right? Not as clear cut because AJ moves a little more than AU. You know, it has these, you know, pretty aggressive swings and deep pullbacks. So, you know, this transition here, you know, kind of crossed, but then held at the MAs and then fell back through with a huge engulfing, bearish engulfing, and then came back and tested again. And now it's pushing lower. So AJ will move a little more. It's a little more of a complex pair. Normally, if you're starting off, we recommend, if you're a beginner trader, we recommend trading AU because it's a little easier to spot structure, as we just went over. So, you know, back to AJ, we saw this 1 hour transition. You know, we spotted that this was going to drop. We actually put out a signal on this right near this bearish engulfing. You know, we targeted much lower towards the 68 handle, and then it came back on us. So we took some profit, you know, but ultimately, you know, it was over 1-to-1, so our trade was at break even. So we took some profits, but it came back, and you know, it did actually give us another entry opportunity, which you could have targeted back towards our original TP, right around this 68.6 handle, right? But from right now, so we've identified there was 1 hour confirmation or 1 hour transition and confirmation, but you know, we want to see some more significance. So the next level would be this 4 hour level, right? This yellow zone here. We want to see a 4 hour transition happen, which would be closure below, pullback, give us a confirmed lower high with some, you know, bearish setups and engulfing, you know, head and shoulders, maybe a double top at this area as well. Very similar to like we talked about on AU. And then we could target lower, right? So this is what that trade would look like. You know, let's say we get that lower high confirmation, right? We get those bearish engulfings that we want to see. We enter, you know, we're going to give us a 45 pip stop for about you know, 110 pips, give or take, almost a 2.5 risk reward. Great trade, absolutely great trade. This would be really, really nice to see play out. You know, especially, you know, the classic break and retest. We love getting in on that. It's a great pattern of trade, and is in fact, you know, a high probability trade. So, you know, again, 45 pips to get 110, almost 2.5 risk reward. We're looking to target down towards our major support around 67.5. But, you know, once we see that 4 hour transition and we do get down to this level, you know, we want to see if it's going to break 67.5 and continue even lower. So you want to see something like this again happen. Transitions, right? We're just looking for market structure, guys. That's all that I'm doing here. I'm just looking for pretty standard market structure, looking to sell on the highs. You know, these lower highs is where we're trying to short at. And we're just trying to optimize, you know, each of these trades. So this would be playing into the daily trend, the daily bearish trend. Let me show you guys. Right. And, you know, this is how we turn a 4 hour trade, 4 hour time frame trade into a daily time frame trade and catch even more pips and turn it into a swing trade and, you know, let it run for a couple of days and really turn that risk to reward into something, you know, much larger. So we could see if this is a confirmed daily continuation, you know, we need to get below 67.5, get in on that lower high, and then target lower towards our next major level, which is around 64.75. This could be a really big move, guys, in the next week or two. You know, another 250 pips there. So we'll be keeping an eye on it. It's looking good so far. This is a pretty swift reversal. You know, I just want to see how it reacts in this range down here. You know, is it going to have the momentum to push lower? Is it going to give us a sharp reversal once it gets to 67.5 like this? You know, we'll see. We'll see. But, you know, all we can do is follow price action, look for confirmation, stick to our rules, stick to our strategy. And, you know, it'll pay off sooner or later. So, you know, here we are right now, looking to get in on another AJ short opportunity. Looking really good. All right, let's keep going. We got a couple more, 3 more. Got EU, EJ, and gold. All right, so EU, I'm going to jump up timeframes here. Very, very bearish. Don't mind this spike. This is news related. This is complete bull crap, this giant spike right here. What we want to look at is kind of like the core of this trend, which is this channel here. Very, very bearish. We can see off the bat. This was that major support level that had broken right around 1.1175. Broke, tested multiple times, and then continued to drop, right? Same thing we saw here, right around 1.1. Held a support for so long, 3 times, tested, finally broke, came back. This is bull crap, this move. And then it came back here. This is like a deeper fib. It just tested the top of this channel along with these 200 EMAs, 200 EMA and these other MAs, just forming structure. That's what this pullback was, right? And now we're consolidating. So notice we're below 1.1. So this is a good sign. You know, it's still very bearish. There's nothing in this on the daily time frame that's saying, hey, the bulls are here, right? And again, this is bull crap. So this is, just pretend this isn't here to the left. We are below 1.1. You know, the meat of this trend is very bearish, and you know, we're below key levels, which is good to see. So we can drop down time frames. You know, we do have another double top here, which has been a pretty obvious pattern lately. We have a double top at this 1.1 handle, which is a good sign. You know, it's just showing that, you know, it's forming good structure, that the bears are, you know, mostly here, primarily here, and that they're in control. So right now, you know, we saw a little bit of a pullback to this 61.8, which was good. You know, this 200 EMA held it. We did get good structure formation. You know, price action pulled back through the MAs. That's things we want to see. And this is a key level, 1.09. This is a 4-hour key level, right? It pulled back, a lot of confluence here, lined up with the 61.8 again, and then gave us that bearish engulfing. Now, we put out a signal on this engulfing here. You know, this looked like it was a great conviction candle. You know, it broke some minor levels in here, some 1-hour levels. But, you know, it pushed lower and then kind of stalled out. You know, kind of stalled out near our 0% right here. It did have good conviction here, but the momentum just couldn't hold up. And, you know, in fact, it did pull back a little bit, you know, and it's actually coming back and hitting this 38.2 fib level, which is a good sign. We're getting some exhaustion here, which again is a good sign. And then we get a nice bearish engulfing. So again, good signs, all good signs. You know, this was a break-even trade. You know, we took some profits down here and then it came back to our entry. And, you know, you can only do so much. So sometimes it happens. You know, again, we just covered that on AJ. You know, it happens. It's part of trading. But, you know, we do our best to, you know, minimize risk and prepare ourselves for the next potential trade. You know, we won't get sore about it. You know, we did everything right according to our rules and our strategy. And sometimes it just happens. But you know, we move on to the next trade, like I said, and, you know, we're looking at a good opportunity right here. You know, so nothing in my mind is saying EU's long, right? EU's bullish, nothing here. This is all bearish price action. So, you know, we're looking to short naturally, especially with those higher time frames in mind. You know, here we are on the 4-hour, you know, we're looking to short, especially after this huge exhaustion and this engulfing. And this is a 1-hour, you know, key level right here, right around, I have it marked, 1.0815. This is a minor level, minor key level. This is right where, you know, structure was broken. That's why I have it highlighted. And what I want to see is key rejection here, and then we can start to look for some 1-hour confirmations, and then you can short, because this is so close to entry. You know, we're like a couple confirmations away on lower time frames. So I'm really looking for, you know, just more bearish setups right here, bearish confirmations that would support, you know, a short setup. So we'll be looking to short right here. And then, you know, again, I protect myself with a stop loss, about 60 pips. I want to be at least outside of this lower high. You know, the more protection you have, the more protection outside of resistance you have, the better, the higher the, you know, higher probability trade. So if you get outside this 200 EMA, good. If you could get outside this 1.9 area, good. It may not always line up. In this scenario, it probably will, because we're looking to get down towards this, you know, 61.8, negative 61.8, and also this monthly, which is about over 200 pips away. So this actually presents over a 2 to 1 risk to reward, which is good. You know, that fits our rules. You know, you at least want to be risking 1% in hopes to get 2%, right? That's the minimum. We won't take anything less. Otherwise, it's an invalid trade. So this is what the trade's looking like right now. Just want to get those 1-hour confirmations, those lower time frame confirmations, and then we're looking to make this short, right, all the way down to our monthly. So let's see what this would look like on the daily. Does it make sense? You know, always be jumping around time frames too. You know, see how it makes sense, you know, in a perspective of a higher time frame. So it makes a lot of sense here for it to get down to this monthly right around 1.06. Very, very likely. Again, this will be a high probability trade if we do get those confirmations. So, you know, I'm excited for this one. You know, EU's been moving pretty good lately. All right, so let's keep going. Move on to EJ. Very, very similar to EU, right? We can identify off the bat, super bearish, huge bearish channel, right? So we're looking at short. We're looking at short opportunities only, especially since we see that this monthly has broken. Huge monthly level, right at 116.250. It broke, didn't have the conviction to continue lower, so it pulled back to a retracement, right? It was a fib from this lower high to this low. This was a fib, and then this confirmed lower high in here. So, you know, this was a bit of a fake out. You know, the move wasn't quite ready to drop. Price action wasn't quite ready to push lower. So it pulled back, gave us a confirmed fib level, and also confirmed lower high. So that's fine. That's all good, right? We didn't enter on that. We were kind of waiting, especially since this, this exhaustion here, right? That was not a good sign, especially after it just broke a significant support level and turned into resistance. That's not exactly what you want to see, this type of exhaustion. So we held off, fine. Now it pulled back and came back down. So this is a good sign. Look at these candles. This is a huge bearish variation. 3 bearish candles in a row, almost the same size. That is exactly what you want to see. There's no wick on the second one. This is absolutely nuts. So that's a great sign, right? So this is a significant closure below a key level, right? This monthly. So this is a great sign. Now here's that retracement. Pulls back through the MAs. It's giving us a evening star. Exactly what we want to see before this dumps off. So we could drop down to a 4-hour, see what price action is doing. So look, it's actually forming this transition right now. This was a mini head and shoulders here on the 1 hour. This neckline, where this level is, 116 flat, great psychological level. And it's forming what looks like a double top, especially on a 1 hour. I bet you that's a double top. I'm not going to drop down because we don't need to right now. We're still a couple confirmations away. But just take a look at this, guys. This is a clean transition. I just covered this pattern like on 3 other pairs. You just want to stack up these confirmations or these transitions and look for confirmations after you get a confirmed lower high. So that's what we're looking at right now, right? Here's that 1 hour transition on a 4-hour time frame. Here's a little double top action. Want to get in on an engulfing, an evening star, more exhaustion, something like that. That would, kind of support your bearish trade. You just want to build confidence in this trade, and then you can enter it, and it'll give you a great, potential trade. So we're looking to get down to our weekly zone here, almost 450 pips. Again, JPY pairs move like crazy, EJ and AJ especially. So 450 pips is not too extreme for this pair. So just keep that in mind. Now, this stop loss is pretty high right now. You could move it just outside this key level, where this 88.6 level is. Right at 117, you can move it outside that. Give yourself a little better risk to reward. We're almost at a 4.0, which is nuts. Risking 1% again, with a target of 4% profit. So that's really, really good. Let's go ahead and jump to the daily, see if this trade makes sense. Can we validate this trade, right? And yeah, it makes sense. We're not choosing any ridiculous target. Everything here pretty much makes sense. We're looking to make a play down towards the lower end of this bearish channel. And, we're trading with the trend, looking for those proper confirmations. We just got below this monthly. So it's looking really good, guys. EJ is looking to make one hell of a move. So we'll be ready. We'll definitely be ready. But it's pretty close to entry. Just be aware, on the 4-hour time frame here. Right? All right. So again, guys, remember all these analyses are posted in Discord and Telegram. Make yourself aware of them, read through. There are some extra descriptions on TradingView, which you can find in, again, Discord or Telegram. So just go through them. If you guys want to, just do a quick recap, definitely go through them, check them out, compare it to your own analysis, and, so on. So finally, the last pair I have you guys is gold. And we've been waiting on this one for a while. Let's just be honest about that. This consolidation has been developing for quite a while, since mid-April, after we had this huge push through monthly resistance. Let me just jump to the daily and show you guys what happened. All right, so we know gold is bullish, super, super bullish, and it broke this key monthly level. It broke this key monthly resistance and then tested its support multiple times. And, was holding in this consolidation. And then it finally broke out. So we've been kind of calling this trade for a while. We're looking for a play to the 1800 handle. And it did. This analysis was put out. I was talking about this on Thursday, I believe, that it was really close to making an entry, right? We just wanted to see it pop right above 1715, which it did. And then it gave us a little retest of the MAs there as well, and that 1715 handle. And then I went long on it, right? So this was a really good trade. I closed it actually before the weekend because, I didn't know how the market was going to open, and, I could always re-enter, look for a possible re-entry. So, if you are in on this and you didn't close, you continue to hold it up to the 1800 handle, maybe take some profit, because this did move quite a bit. This is a few hundred pips right here, 300 pips. So that was a really good trade. But if you do want to get back in on this trade, if you're looking for an entry, just look for a retest of this near the 1715 handle. We want a confirmed high or low. You could fib, from here to here, right? And then this would make sense. Lines up with the 61.8, right above the 1715 handle. So something like that. You just want to get in on a confirmed high or low with, bullish setups. We're always looking for those confirmations. And, the potential to, get in on a trade that's already executed is there. You just have to be patient and wait. Whether this just continues to push higher to 1800 or not, it doesn't really matter. We're just plotting out the potential for an entry, which would be 1715. You can't get sore about missed opportunities, or you can't get too nervous about, oh, how do I get in on this? How do I catch this move? Because then that's FOMO. You're missing out. Those are all negative emotions. We're just trying to use logic and approach this with what we know, which is our rule set, our strategy, and what's been working for us. And that's been working for us so far. So this is a definite potential entry opportunity if it pulls back. Especially if it hits that 61.8 as well as this 1715 handle and pulls back through these MAs. That would be nice to see. Right, then we could target back up to this 1800 handle. So that's pretty much it for this week. That's what I've covered for you guys. Just a quick recap. I got DXY, AU, AJ, EU, EJ, and gold. So I'm going to pass it off to Angelo, and he'll cover another set of pairs for you guys. So, just again, guys, you could definitely check out the Discord here. We post them all here. Right? These are all analyses for your review, for your comparison. Just check them out. Definitely valuable. So yeah, Angelo, this one's on you now.
What's up, everybody? So as I said in the Discord, we are gonna do a giveaway. So I'm gonna share my screen here, bring up Discord chat. These are the rules for the giveaway. Let's go in to public. As you can see, a lot of people have already submitted for the giveaway. The instructions are just follow my account, Saved by FX. Comment on my last post. Read the caption, do a little comment, and then just reply in here in Discord your username. So just reply in here your Instagram handle, and then you're going to be submitted for the giveaway. I'm going to do the giveaway at the end of this session, and then I'll post the winner in the chat following. So that's for one spot, lifetime membership. So you guys can, get in on that. That's going to be something that obviously a lot of people have wanted to get in on, get in for free. So now's your chance, submit, get in on the giveaway. Other than that, we have another little announcement that's going to go down at the end of this live session. I'm just going to bring it up really quick, and then we're going to get back into the charts. Let's see. Yeah, so you don't have to drop your handle in here. Just drop it in the Discord. Just drop it in that public section.
Here, wait, I'll drop the link to Discord in here for those of you that know somebody was just asking. So let me go ahead and get this for you guys.
Let's see this. Open.
One day.
Get this here. All right, cool. So Nick obviously just went over a lot of pairs, a lot of exotic pairs. He went over EU and AU, which is some of the major pairs here. As always, with what I do is I go over most of the major pairs. So these are most of the pairs that people will trade that have good volatility, that are all USD based. Nick went over EU and AU. I'm going to cover the rest of them. GU, NU, UJ, UCAD, USEP. These are basically the only pairs that I trade. So this is my watch list. For you guys that don't know, you can make a little watch list.
You got to share your screen.
Oh, I'm not sharing my screen.
That's still online.
Let's see. All right, cool. So you should be able to see my screen. Not here. Yeah, so for you guys that don't know, you can create a little watch list. Just come on TradingView, come to this button. It's a lot easier than having like 10 tabs open right here. You can just put all the pairs, I made 2 lists, majors, minor, indices, and then you could just flag them with colors. For mine, orange means that I'm getting ready for entry. Red means that these are still in the higher time frames and I'm just waiting for structure to develop. So let's start off with USEF. Again, a lot of good opportunities coming up this week, guys. A lot of good opportunities. Like Nick talked about, what you should be doing is we posted all of our analyses, in the chat. You guys should go back read through. We start from the monthly time frame, work our way down, tell you what we see on each time frame. Then at the end of the week, you can play them forward. You can play them forward, see how they played out versus our ideas. So yeah, USD, CHF, on the monthly time frame or on the weekly time frame, this is what I'm looking at. Some candlestick analysis. We had a bearish engulfing, most recently right here last week or 2 weeks ago. Had a lot of exhaustion, so we failed to engulf. Last week, doji. These are all signs of reversal for me. All signs of reversal. We've got down to the daily. This is where we're going to start putting our fibs on and start to look for structure. So on the daily time frame, we've got this low. We hit 100%, hit 88.6, hit 88.6 again. So we're forming these lower highs here. Retest 88.6 again, coming out of the supply zone. We were talking about this a lot last week. Then at this point, we are pretty much at a level where we could potentially get a nice short opportunity. So that's why I have this marked again in orange, because I'm going to start to get down to the lower time frame here. As I come down to the 1 hour, first thing that I'm thinking about is where can I see structure? Where can I see structure, on this 1 hour time frame? If I can't see it that clearly, I'll bump down even to a lower time frame. So obviously I see this, we have this lower high that formed, this lower low. We have this lower low form, this lower high here. Still a lot of confusion here. The lowest time frame I'll bump down to is the 30-minute. So I bump down to the 30-minute. What's going on here? Obviously, 30-minute was in an uptrend. We broke this high, made a new high. On the 30-minute time frame for me, pulling back through the moving averages right here, found support. This is significant. This is very significant for us. I'm just going to use a little random line real quick, drag it across, boom. Very significant. Retested this level. This is showing me that the average of price was very bullish. Then we pulled back through the moving averages to a level where the buyers need to step in and they need to say that we are still in control. We are still in control in this uptrend. This is a serious level. What is the next serious level support? This was the level that was found. Enough momentum to pull all the way back through the moving averages back to this high. And then obviously we started to fail, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And so ultimately we broke this, made this new low. So depending on how the market opens, I'm actually going to be looking to get in on this as soon as possible, depending on what
really good.
This is like a pretty nice entry right now for me. So I'm going to look and see how the market opens. Youssef is definitely on the watch list right now. 4 hour, what are we going to target? We retested this bottom zone like 3 times right here. So I'm just going to look to target that bottom zone down there. We'll see, how we can move to that area. But again, Youssef setting up very nicely, a lot of confluences to go bearish. So let's go to UCAD. UCAD, let's start all the way up on the weekly time frame. So last week actually formed this bullish engulfing right here. So we closed with a bullish engulfing. Obviously a bullish setup for us. On this weekly time frame, we have been at a high. We've been at a high, but at the same time, we're very overextended. We're at a point where prices hasn't eclipsed, for years and years and years. Had this huge wick that formed at that same exact level as that previous wick, this like 1.4600 level, like 1.4700 level. We wicked that. So coming down to the weekly with that in mind, that we could potentially fall out of this area again. I'm looking at bearish engulfing, bearish variation here, and that bullish engulfing last week. So let's start to break that down, see what that means for us. Pretty much this is all that happened. We're still within these 2 ranges. These are our highs, high right here, retested, lower high right there. These are our lows, level that was tested multiple times. So we're just playing within this range since March. We've been playing in this range for quite some time, for 2 months now. So let's go to the 4 hour, because all I want to do as I'm on this daily, I'm like, okay, well, I am bearish in the sense that lower high here, lower high here, lower high here. We are transitioning, got the moving averages crossed on this, but I want to see where I can see structure a little bit more clearly right now. On this 4 hours where I start to see that, we had this higher low that was formed, double topped here, we broke below. You know, as soon as I see that break, this is a break of structure for me. Break of structure for me right now. And I'm looking for that first lower high. Looking for that first lower high. We got some bearish momentum here, failed to break through the moving averages. Again, you know, not exactly a bearish variation here, but pulled back, you know, didn't break through the moving average. Again, came up. And on this lower time frame, all this is are retracements, you know, 1 hour bullish trend. So then we came up. Finally, we get a very nice confirmation for us, you know, in the supply zone up here, bearish engulfing, boom. We had like a potential breakout entry here that like could have been taken advantage of, but now we're actually waiting because as soon as I see this bearish engulfing, there's so many confirmations here. The higher time frame supply zone, the red zone, this supply zone on this time frame, bearish engulfing candle, 78.6, 88.6. We got these fib levels. So what I'm going to do from the 4 hour, I'm going to go to the 30-minute, and then I'm going to look at 30-minute, you know, 30-minute structure. Every time frame, we're just looking at structure. This is a high, pulled through the moving averages. This is our high or low. Made a new high, you know, moving averages crossed. New high or low, fell through moving averages, found support. New high right here, fell back through the moving averages, found support. New high right here. So then what happened? Right there, that 4 hour engulfing we just talked about, then it breaks through. So we're starting to transition structure on the 30-minute. So this is going to show us a nice entry opportunity in this area right now. It is about to come up back in the supply zone. We're basically at 100% level on this like 30-minute transition. You know, we could bring on, we'd like, you know, a little bit of a trend line, you know, in this area. We can adjust it a little bit, put a trend line based on this and based on this. You know, we broke below there. Now we're retesting. There's a ton of confirmation right now that this is going to be bearish. So definitely wait on this. You know, if we get something honestly similar to this, if we get something similar to this, now that we know our bias is bearish, falling through the moving out, as soon as this thing crosses, we're going to short. So keep that in mind. As soon as this thing crosses and goes bearish, we're going to short. So that's UCAD. Let's bump over to UJ. UJ is looking pretty crazy. Let's go up to the weekly. The weekly time frame is where I'm getting my idea from. Weekly is obviously pretty bearish. You know, made this low, made this lower high, but now we're at this weekly support level. Last week closed with this candle, inverted hammer. That's a reversal candle at the end of a downtrend. So look at this. Exhaustion here, doji. Exhaustion here, doji. Like very, you know, long wick candle. Could call this a spinning top if you'd like. Then inverted hammer. All of this is showing signs of reversal. But keep in mind, the overall time frame, weekly time frame, is bearish. So let's go down to the daily. Daily time frame, structure. Where's our fibs? You know, high to low. Boom. 88.6 right here. Pulled back. A little bit of a pullback. Next lower high formed there. So on this daily time frame, as of now, until we break this level, we are bearish. Until we break this level, we are bearish. But because the weekly, we see that inverted hammer. Because on the daily, we see a lot of this momentum coming off this level. There is a higher time frame structure that is breaking right now. Not the daily, but the 4 hour. The 4 hour has broken structure. Boom, right here. This was a lower high that had formed. Broke through, made a new high, you know, pulled back. Now we're at a potential higher low. So this pair right now has the potential to go bullish despite the fact that the daily, the weekly, the monthly are bearish, right? But we're confident in the sense that the 4 hour has turned bullish. The next level of resistance on our daily is all the way up here. So we could see some sort of swift move up into this area. We have a lot of room right now. We have a lot of room. We have a minor resistance, daily resistance here, main resistance here. You know, we could see a lot of volume and see this come up, or we can wait. And at the moment, the only opportunity to take short opportunities, and this is why we're confident on both sides of this trade, is if we break right here. We break right here, break below, then we can continue to go short. But at the moment, we are definitely bullish. And if we go all the way down to the 30-minute, because again, on my watch list, These are the ones that I'm on the lower time frames right now. UJ is one of them. UJ had been bearish on this 30-minute. Lower lows all the way down to here, no pullbacks until right here. Pulled back, minor pullback here, boom. And then we pulled back here again. That's when we started to break. That's when we started to see that 4-hour engulfing transition, boom again. So right now we need to see, some more confirmation to go bullish on this 30-minute time frame. Need to find some support here, break back above these moving averages. So I'm going to post these three, UCAD, USEF, and UJ, for you premium members. I'm going to post these three in the premium analysis. So you guys that are lifetime members, in the signals, whatever, these three will go in there after this session. And then the rest of this analysis, then the free analysis is all like the 4-hour and up. 4-hour and up. How do we join lifetime? I'm going to, at the end, I'm going to share with you, we have the special announcements about the lifetime membership. So at the end of this session, I'm going to share that with you guys, what's going on with that. So yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. But let's just bump over to NU and finish up with these two pairs that again, the red means I'm still in the 4-hour. I'm still in the daily. That means that as of tonight, as of tomorrow morning, I'm not looking for entries on these. I'm waiting to see how candlesticks are playing out, especially GU and then especially these two, because we're at lows right now. So let's bump all the way up to the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, right away you could tell, very bearish. Had this lower high form up here, had this lower low form, pulled back. This whole time we were bearish, pulled back. Last week, huge bearish engulfing. We were praying on it. We were talking about this all week. If you look at the live sessions last week, I was literally talking about this the entire week, this entire move. You guys want to look at that. So again, come down to the daily time frame. Where do we see structure? Have this lower high here, have this low. I got a supply zone drawn. It's not really relevant right now, but I still have it on just for the sake of having it there for now. So on this daily time frame, obviously we were forming some highs, high or low, high here, then we double topped, bearish engulfing, boom. Let's bump down though to the 4-hour to start to see structure a little bit more clearly. So let's go to the 4-hour. Boom. Obviously a lot of noise right now. A lot of noise. What's going on this? We have this high or low, pull back. Just look at the moving averages. Pulled back, crossed here, broke above, came back, retest, came back above, moving averages cross, made a new high. All of a sudden, where's our next high or low? Pulls back, moving averages cross, boom. Right here, double bottom, pulls through. This is the level that needs to break for us. This is the level that needs to break for us. This is where we shorted last week. Right here. Boom. Lot of confirmation here, guys. Lots of confirmation. I drew this yellow zone based on resistance, support, resistance, support right here. A lot of indecision around this level at this point. Support, 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 right? And then we broke below, retest, short. So that was the idea behind that trade last week. That one was not put out in the signals. That was a personal one, but we did cover this in the analysis. If you go back, you can just look at
these are covered every week.
The sheer accuracy of the analysis. You can look at it. But
to the tip.
But yeah. But no, for NU now what's going on is we're back in this weekly support level. Back in weekly support right here. What is this? This is weekly support. This is based on the weekly time frame, guys. So on the weekly time frame, whenever price comes into here, some huge move happens. A lot of volume comes in. Look previously. A lot of volume, boom. A lot of volume, boom. A lot of volume, boom. Carries it, to the upside. We need to break below here. We need to break below here. Ideally, we need some sort of retest. This is just at a low. I'm not going to take any positions right now. I'm just going to wait. We could either retest 38.2 again, a lot of confirmation up here, or break below, retest, go short. So that's my idea on NU, just sitting on the sidelines for now. And then GU was the trade of the fucking century last week because this thing closed at the fucking pip of the signal that was given out.
Yeah,
so
absolutely nuts.
This trade is literally the trade of the champion of the whole entire 2020 right now. But very similar to NU, the structure is let's start off on the weekly time frame, bearish. Obviously 200-day moving average. Again, only indicators we use, moving averages. Why? That just shows us it's like a very valid data point, very valid indicator. It's showing us just the average of price from these candlesticks, right? So for us, over the last 200 days, prices maintained below this level. That's very telling for me. Now these two, if we have the last 8 days, prices maintained below this level. Last 18 days, prices maintained below this level. This is saying that this trend has been stronger, over the last 8 days. So we need to definitely take those into account. Last week, with the weekly being bearish in mind, and then cycling down to the daily being bearish. Why? Low, fibs, no breaks of structure or anything. These are just healthy pullbacks, healthy uptrends because of the moving averages. And I go over more of that inside the webinars, like inside the course and everything. So at this point now, I was looking at this. We had this high form, then we broke through. We found a bottom here, right? We broke back upwards. We retested, broke below. This is telling me this lower high that we are getting ready to push. As all this volume comes in, I'm getting very bearish. I'm starting to go down to the 4 hour, time frame. Where can I start to see structure? I know there's a lot going on right now, like very confusing, but you got to start to go from the daily to the 4 hour to the 1 hour until you can see a very clear trend, guys. Until you can see a very clear trend. We were looking at this for quite some time. This was an uptrend on the 1 hour. These were higher lows that were formed. 1, 2, 3. These needed to break for us. Boom. This broke right here. Break below. Now we're bearish. Little bit of confusion came in here, guys, because we came back. We formed a lower high. We dumped, and then we broke that. So what we do there is we bump up to the 4 hour, bumped up to the 4 hour. This is what we were looking at. All of a sudden, this huge wick comes into play. And the analysis we had put out last week on this was we were waiting for a break. So I'm going to go back to the 1 hour now. We were waiting for a break of this. And I'm going to go all the way to the 30-minute just to show you. So the 30-minute turned bullish, surprisingly. We found a lot of volume out of here. This is a daily support level, this blue zone. A lot of volume. And a lot of people could have got confused in this area. But not us, not me. So we went down to the 30-minute, broke through, moving averages crossed. This is what, if you look back at my analysis, break, retest. This is what we were looking for right here. This was the first entry opportunity. I was so pissed. We had this in the live session. We missed this one. We were a little bit late on it. We had this wick come back, and then it just shot down. We could have entered there, but it doesn't matter. I was still confident in my analysis that this was a nice swing trade. So I kept my head in the game. We came back to retest here. And all this time, like had my moving averages, or I had my fibs on and everything. This was a 618. We were looking at a lot of things, a lot of confirmations. We shorted this right here. Go back into the signals. You can go to GU, 1.22580. We shorted right here, 1.22580. Boom. That's where we shorted it, literally like on the live session last week. And then the target was 1.21 thousand, and it closed at 1.21 thousand. So this doesn't happen often, but this was just a funny, unique situation where the fucking signal played out literally to the pip on the live session. So this just shows the projections, are there. Everything is lining up very smoothly. At this point, on GU, what are we waiting for? I'm back on this 4 hour now because the 4 hour broke a higher low. 4 hour broke this higher low right there. I'm waiting for this pullback. I got my daily fibs on. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Let me bring this more into focus for us on this 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, I'm waiting for a pullback off of this 38.2 up to this level. That doesn't mean we could just fall out right to here before we find support. So that's GU. We're waiting on this. So that's everything that I covered. I'll drop these three, like I said, in the premium chat for you guys. The rest of the analysis is already out there. And we're going to just go into it. We're about to bring back, we're doing the giveaway. Yes, all you guys that entered We'll give away one spot. You know, lucky you. Obviously, you're in the group. We appreciate you being here and you followed us thus far. Maybe you're new and you're just getting in and, you know, maybe it's your lucky day. So I'm going to post a giveaway after this, but we are about to open back up. It's the middle of May. You know, a lot of people are home. A lot of people have time. A lot of people are coming on the live sessions. We're doing 10 spots. 10 spots for the Forex League premium membership. You know, this includes everything pictured. You know, course videos. We have a ton of content in there. You guys are going to be surprised at everything in there. Signals, one-on-ones. For you guys that want to know what the one-on-ones contain, we are definitely getting more organized with them. There's homeworks we give you inside the course. Obviously, for people that already trade that are coming into the course, you can just kind of come on with us and chop it up and we can see where you're at. And then for beginners, it's more appropriate for you to do the homework, you know, start with that. So then we have something where you're on the chart. And then we can kind of work through exercises with you in that way to the point where ultimately everybody needs to get to the point where you're back testing. You're back testing, that is the most productive way to critique your strategy, you know, what you see in the market. So every little exercise we're going to do with you on the one-on-ones, every time I'm going to mention back testing. That's where we need you to get to. So the one-on-ones are included. The trading plan is included, you know, 35-page trading plan. You know, I got mine right here. We normally ship them out to people, you know, everything in here, very valuable. I normally, when I needed to a little bit more, I would keep this like literally on my desk by my bed. It's like, look at it as like a study guide. I had notes everywhere, consolidated it. Obviously the chat, you know, psychology training. We got a couple of podcasts of me and Nick on there, some audio, fundamentals, weekly webinars, you know, the community. If you guys want to learn more about everything that's included, just pop over to the website, you know, pop over onto our website, forexleagueco.com, you know, come down here, check out this video. This video tells you everything inside. You know, normally it's $4.99. So again, we're doing $2.99 for only 10 spots. This is live, just announced right now. So you're the first people. We're gonna post on Instagram and everything. So if you guys want in, just shoot me a message. You know, shoot me a message. Somebody got in already. Somebody got in today. You know, so we're gonna update 9 spots. The reason why we do this is because the one-on-ones is a lot. The schedule fills up. You know, it's tough to keep up with everything. So we're doing only 10 spots, and that's how we are. Because me and Nick obviously spend a lot of time freaking doing analysis and trading and everything as well. So we only have so much time. We only have so much time.
We got a lot on our plate. But, you know, again, this is why this is available. You know, we did decide to bring it back due to popular demand. But, you know, it has to be limited to 10 spots. Or now 9, actually, because one guy did get in. But we want to let you guys know first. You know, we want to start off the week on, you know, a fresh start. Give you guys the first opportunity to get in, you know, because, you know, you guys are, and notice most of you guys are here pretty much every weekend. And, you know, it's only right. So, you know, definitely great value. So we can only, you know, offer a limited amount.
Right. So if you guys want in, I'll post the info on Discord. This is recorded as always. I'm about to end the session. So I hope you guys have a nice week. You know, we'll see you guys Tuesday for the free live trading session at 9 a.m.
Absolutely. Thank you guys again. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, buddy. Peace out.